lovelies! Today I have a massive book haul for you, so stay tuned. So you can't even see all of the books I have here because there are some actually behind me as well. I acquired 56 books since my last haul. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So okay, let me start with the ones behind me. So starting off are books that I've actually already read. I bought these off of Amazon. They were such a great deal that I just couldn't pass them by, and I didn't have these editions already. But I have these paperback editions of the Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, and I also got the box set that matches of the Mortal Instruments, and I just love how these look together, and I'm going to add them to my Cassandra Clare shelf. As far as the rest of these books, I have like one I think from a subscription box. I have ones that I ordered from Amazon, ones that I ordered from Barnes & Noble, from Books A Million, ones that were sent to me as gifts, and from publishers and all that good stuff. Lots of places. So let's start with this one that actually came out of a Once Upon a Book Club box, and that is Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finley Boylan. This says, a soul-stirring novel about what we choose to keep from our past and what we choose to leave behind. From the #1 New York Times bestselling author of Wish You Were Here and the bestselling author of She's Not There. Olivia McGaffey knows what it feels like to start over. Her picture-perfect life living in Boston, married to a brilliant surgeon, raising their beautiful son Asher, was upended when her husband revealed a darker side. She never imagined that she would end up back in her sleepy New Hampshire hometown, living in the house she grew up in and taking over her father's beekeeping business. Lily Campanello is familiar with do-overs too. When she and her mom relocated to Adams, New Hampshire for her final year of high school, they both hope it will be a fresh start. And for just a short while, these new beginnings are exactly what Olivia and Lily need. Their paths cross when Asher falls for the new girl in school, and Lily can't help but fall for him too. With Ash, she feels happy for the first time, yet she wonders if she can trust him completely. Then one day, Olivia receives a phone call. Lily is dead, and Asher is being questioned by the police. Olivia is adamant that her son is innocent, but she would be lying if she didn't acknowledge the flashes of his father's temper in Ash. And as the case against him unfolds, she realizes he's hidden more than he's shared with her. Mad Honey is a riveting novel of suspense and unforgettable love story, and a moving and powerful exploration of the secrets we keep and the risks we take in order to become ourselves. Interesting. Okay, these next 5 books, most of them I've already read. These are ones that I ordered from Amazon, and that is these beautiful editions of the Lux series. I love these editions. They're so pretty, I think. So we have Obsidian, which is book 1, Onyx, which is book 2, Opal, which is book 3, Origin, which is book 4, and Opposition, which is book 5. So let me read you about book 1. This says, starting over sucks. When we moved to West Virginia right before my senior year, I'd pretty much resigned myself to thick accents, dodgy internet access, and a whole lot of boring, until I spotted my hot neighbor with his looming height and eerie green eyes. Things were looking up. And then he opened his mouth. Damien is infuriating, arrogant, stab-worthy. We do not get along at all. But when a stranger attacks me and Damon literally freezes time with a wave of his hand, well, something unexpected happens. The hot alien living next door marks me. You heard me, alien. Turns out Damon and his sister have a galaxy of enemies wanting to steal their abilities, and Damon's touch has lit me up like the Las Vegas Strip. The only way I'm getting out of this alive is by sticking close to Damon until my alien mojo fades. If I don't kill him first, that is. And it is so fantastic. I love this entire series. Okay, these next 6 books here are ones that I ordered from Books A Million. I think most of them were like on their little bargain price section. So the first one is Business Not As Usual by Sharon C. Cooper. This says, a woman learns the hard way about mixing business with pleasure in this hilarious new romantic comedy by USA Today best-selling author Sharon C. Cooper. I am beautiful, I am confident, I am lovable, I am a lottery winner. This is the mantra that will get Dreamy Daniels through each day until she makes it big. So what if she lives in a seedy part of Los Angeles in a house that's one earthquake away from crumbling, or works an unfulfilling secretarial job while struggling to finish her bachelor degree? All Dreamy needs to do is win the lottery, which she's been entering as a weekly tradition with her grandfather. When she catches the attention of her boss's potential investor, Dreamy must remind herself to focus on her career goals so she can be her own boss. Who cares if he has the social graces of the Duke of Sussex and the suaveness of Idris Elba? No distractions allowed. Growing up with a father who is an A-list actor and a socialite mother, venture capitalist Carter Redford lives in the world of the rich and famous. Instead of attending movie premieres, however, he prefers to spend his time helping the less fortunate, backing up startup companies and investing in cutting-edge ideas. Carter is used to his life revolving around work, but when he decides he wants someone to share it with, he falls for a woman his mother would never approve of. Hilarious, quirky, dreamy, who has goals of her own, but isn't a wealthy, upper-crust socialite. Though it's clear they're from different worlds, their relationship might just be his greatest investment yet. Next up is one of their Lifetime Library, collectors editions. I got Grimm's Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm. I thought this was going to be prettier than it was. But maybe I'll just keep it out of the dust jacket because the dust jacket's just bleh. And then I ordered another one of those. It's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. And I think I would probably go without the dust jacket on these. Then I have You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes. And this is book 3, I believe, in the You series. And that follows a crazy murderous stalker that you end up really liking, and it's very weird. I loved it, and it was a lot of fun, and how you root for a serial killer, I just don't understand, but you do with this series. I also very much enjoyed watching the show on Netflix, so yeah, I wanted to grab this. Next is The Downstairs Neighbor by Helen Cooper. This says, can you keep a secret when you live under the same roof? From her downstairs apartment in suburban London, Emma has often overheard the seemingly perfect family above her, Steph, Paul, and teenage daughter Freya, but has never gotten to know them, until one day she hears something that seizes her attention. Freya has vanished and the police are questioning Steph and Paul about their life. Do either of you have any enemies, anyone who might want to harm or threaten you? The effects of Freya's disappearance ripple outward, affecting everyone who lives in the building, including Emma and driving instructor Chris, who was the last person to see the teenager before she went missing. Each character's life is thrown into sharp focus as devastating mistakes and long-held secrets are picked apart and other crimes come to light, including a child gone missing 25 years earlier and a shocking murder. These discoveries soon make clear that the past never stays where we leave it, and that homes can be built on the foundations of lies. And then the last from Books A Million, I have You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. And this one says, the #1 best-selling authors of The Wife Between Us and An Anonymous Girl deliver a thriller about a circle of friends with deadly intentions, where trust is their weapon and revenge is their trigger. You probably know someone like Shay Miller. She wants to find love, but it eludes her. She wants to be fulfilled, but her job is a dead end. She wants to belong, but her life is becoming increasingly isolated. You probably don't know anyone like the Moore sisters. They have an unbreakable circle of friends. They live a life of glamour and perfection. They always get what they desire. Shay thinks she wants their life, but what they really want is hers. Okay, these next books are, I think all of these are pre-orders from Barnes & Noble. Okay, so the first book I have here, I ordered this because my friend Clint from Reed's Readers absolutely loves this book, and it was being released in paperback, so I pre-ordered that. And that is A Little Bit Country by Brian D. Kennedy. This says, Emmett Maguire wants to be the country music's biggest gay superstar. A far reach when you're 17 and living in Illinois. But for now, he's happy to do the next best thing. Stay with his aunt in Jackson Hollow, Tennessee for the summer and perform at the amusement park owned by his idol, country legend Wanda Jean Stubbs. Luke Barnes hates country music. As the grandson of Verna Rose, the disgraced singer who had a famous falling out with Wanda Jean, Luke knows how much pain country music has brought his family. But when his mom's medical bills start piling up, he takes a job at the last place he wants, a restaurant at Wanda World. Neither boy is looking for romance, but sparks fly when they meet, and soon they're inseparable, until a long-lost secret about Verna and Wanda comes to light, threatening to unravel everything. Will Emmett and Luke be able to get past the truths they discover, or will the relationship go down in history as just another sad country love song? Okay, next up is The Sun and the Star, a Nico D'Angelo adventure by Rick Riordan and Mark Oshiro. And I think this fits into the Heroes of Olympus series and Trials of Apollo. Sort of a merge between the two. I don't know if I can read this without spoiling things, but I do have this and I'm very excited to read it. Okay, next up is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. This one says, a small town sweetheart and an emotionally unavailable bad boy try to find some common ground in this chemistry-filled romance from Sarah Adams, author of The Cheat Sheet and When in Rome. Annie Walker is on a quest to find her perfect match, someone who complements her happy, quiet life running the local flower shop in Rome, Kentucky. But finding her dream man may be harder than Annie imagined. Everyone knows everyone in her hometown, and the dating prospects are getting fewer by the day. After she overhears her latest date say she is so unbelievably boring, Annie starts to think the problem might be her. Is it too late to become a flirtatious and fun like the leading ladies in her favorite romance movies? Maybe she only needs a little practice, and Annie has the perfect person in mind to be her tutor, Will Griffin. Will, the sexy, tattooed, and absolutely gorgeous bodyguard, is temporarily back in Rome, providing security for Amelia Rose as excitement builds for her upcoming marriage to Noah Walker, Annie's brother. He has one personal objective while on the job: stay away from Annie Walker and any other possible attachments to this sleepy town. But no sooner than he gets settled, Will finds himself tasked with helping Annie find the love of her life by becoming the next leading lady of Rome, Kentucky. Will wants no part in changing the sweet and lovely Annie. He knows for a fact that some stuffy, straight-laced guy won't make her happy, but he doesn't have the heart to say no. Amid steamy practice dates and strictly educational tutoring lessons, Annie discovers there are more layers to Will than his usual stoic attitude. As the lines of their friendship become dangerously blurred, Annie reconsiders her dream guy. Maybe her love life doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be real. Next up is One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. This says, we were dying for a holiday, but which one of us would kill for it? The six of us arrived on that beautiful Greek island, dreaming of sun-drenched beaches and blood-orange sunsets, ready to lose ourselves in the wild freedom of a weekend away with friends. On the first night, we swam under a blanket of stars. On the second night, the games began on our clifftop terrace. On the third night, the ideal cracked, secrets and lies whispering on the breeze, and by the final night, there was a body on the rocks below. Gripping, twisty, and full of scorching suspense, this thriller examines the pressures and joys of female friendship and the deadly consequences when a relationship goes wrong. Next up is a graphic novel. This is Dead India by Hamish Steele. And this is The Watcher's Test. And apparently there's also a Netflix inspiration for the Netflix series Dead in Paranormal Park. And I just thought it looked really cute. Let's see. This says, Barney Gutman's life has been turned upside down. Barney's family is struggling to fully embrace his trans identity, but thanks to his best friend, Norma, he's just landed a job at Phoenix Parks, an amusement park inspired by the long life and career of a mysteriously youthful actress and singer, Pauline Phoenix. Soon, Barney and his dog, Pugsley, secretly move into the haunted house attraction. Little does Barney know, the house contains a portal to the demonic planes. When Courtney, Barney's devilish new roommate, invites a demon king to Earth through the portal, they offer Barney and Norma as flesh vessels for the king, but in a strange twist. Pugsley is possessed instead. A race through the park to save Pugsley and the world from the Demon King's reign of terror leaves Pugsley with strange and magical side effects. With all of this chaos going on, Barney is also discovering he has a crush on park employee Logan, so he must face his biggest fear of all, talking to someone he likes. Follow the lives of this diverse group of friends in this hilarious and moving graphic novel series, complete with talking pugs, vengeful ghosts, and first love. And I just think this sounds so good. Next up is The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winstead. This says, a laugh-out-loud rom-com about learning to embrace living outside your comfort zone. As a shy school librarian, Alexis Stone is comfortable keeping out of the spotlight. But when she's dumped for being too meek in bed, she decides she needs to change. And what better way to kickstart her new, more adventurous life than with her first one-night stand? Enter Logan, the gorgeous foul-mouthed stranger she meets at a hotel bar. Audacious and filterless, Logan is Alexis's opposite. And boy, do opposites attract. Just as she's about to fulfill her hookup wish, the hotel catches fire in a freak lightning storm. In their rush to escape, Logan is discovered carrying her into the street where people are waiting with cameras. Logan promptly and shockingly flees. Alexis is bewildered until suddenly pictures of her and Logan escaping the fire are all over the internet. Turns out Logan is none other than Logan Arthur, the hotshot candidate challenging the Texas governor's seat. The salacious scandal is poised to sink his career and jeopardize Alexis's job until a solution is proposed. He and Alexis could pretend to be in a relationship until Election Day in 2 months. What could possibly go wrong? Next is A Likely Story by Lee McCullen Abramson. And this says, the only child of an iconic American novelist discovers a tangle of family secrets and upends everything she thought she knew about her parents, her gilded youth, and her own faltering writing career. For Isabel Manning, growing up as the daughter of New York's intellectual it couple was both a blessing and a curse. Her elegant mother Claire had a reputation as a whip-smart society hostess, while Isabel's father, the incomparable Ward Manning, was the king of the New York Times bestseller list. Having to share Ward with his adoring public wasn't always easy. But at home, Claire ensured that Isabel's childhood was filled with magic and love. All Isabel has ever wanted as an adult is a career like her father's. But after many false starts and wrecked by grief after Claire's unexpected death, Isabel faces down her 35th birthday alone, without a book deal, without her mom, and on the brink of a messy breakdown. When Isabel discovers some shocking truths about her parents, she wonders if the world's rosy image of her famous family was all a lie. Isabel's unfolding drama is punctuated with fragments of a clever book within a book, where a righteous female narrator steals back the spotlight from an unscrupulous male artist. The characters seem eerily familiar, but are any of this story's plot points rooted in fact? And more mysterious, who is the author? Dun dun dun. Next up is 7 Rules for Breaking Hearts by Kristen J. Miller. This one says, Rule number 6, only fool around with people who are easily avoidable. Rule number 7, whatever you do, don't catch feelings. Love breaks all the rules. Margot Anderson is sworn off commitment. Alongside her best friend Joe, she runs a viral podcast featuring rules for hooking up without catching feelings. So when Joe surprises her by deciding to get married and taking up a sponsor's offer to host an all-expenses-paid wedding trip on Catalina Island, they have the whole internet to answer to. In a scramble for content to appease their disappointed listeners, Margot cooks up a social experiment. Break all her own dating rules just to prove that it's a bad idea. And she's found the best man for the job in the groom's best friend and her old high school nemesis, Declan Walsh. He may be easier on the eyes than Margot remembered, but he's sure to be as smug and annoying as he was before. There's no chance Margot will ever catch feelings for him, until she does. The more time they spend together through cake tastings and wedding party activities, the more Margot can't ignore their obvious spark, and she may actually be enjoying getting to know Declan. But can she let go of the rules to let him in? Next is This Time Tomorrow by Emma Straub. And this says, a father-daughter story full of humor and heart about love, death, and time travel. On the eve of her 40th birthday, Alice's life isn't terrible. She likes her job, even if it isn't exactly the one she expected. She's happy with her apartment, her romantic status, and her independence, and she adores her lifelong best friend. But her father is ailing, and it feels to her as if something is missing. When she wakes up the next morning, she finds herself back in 1996, reliving her 16th birthday. But it isn't just her adolescent body that shocks her or seeing her high school crush. It's her dad, the vital, charming 40-something version of her father with whom she is reunited. Now armed with a new perspective on her own life and his, some past events take on new meaning. Is there anything that she would change if she could? Oh, this one's going to rip my heart out. I just know it. Next up is The Chaperone by M. Hendricks. This says, like every young woman in New America, Stella knows the rules. Embrace purity, navigate the world with care, respect your chaperone. Girls in New America must have a chaperone at all times. Because of this, Stella is never alone. She can't go out by herself or learn about the world. She can't even spend time with boys except at formal visitations. Still, Stella feels lucky that her chaperone, Sister Helen, is like a friend to her. And then the unthinkable happens. Sister Helen dies suddenly and Stella feels lost, especially when she's assigned a new chaperone just days later. Sister Laura is different. She has radical ideas about what Stella should be doing. She leaves Stella alone in public and even knows how to get into the hush-hush parties where all kinds of forbidden things happen. As Stella spends more time with Sister Laura, she begins to question everything she's been taught. What if the constable's rules don't actually protect girls? What if they were never meant to keep them safe? Once Stella glimpses both real freedom and the dark truths behind New America, she has no choice but to fight back against the world she knows, risking everything to set out on a dangerous journey across what used to be the United States. Next up is King of Wrath by Anna Huang. This says, she was my North Star, the brightest jewel in my sky. Ruthless, meticulous, arrogant, billionaire CEO Dante Russo thrives on control, both personally and professionally. He never planned to marry until the threat of blackmail forces him into an engagement with a woman he barely knows. Vivian Lau, jewelry heiress and daughter of his newest enemy, the wife he never wanted, and the weakness he never saw coming. It doesn't matter how beautiful or charming she is. Dante will do everything in his power to destroy the blackmail and their betrothal. There's only one problem. Now that he has her, he can't bring himself to let her go. Elegant, ambitious, well-mannered, Vivian Lau is the perfect daughter and her family's ticket into the highest echelons of society. Marrying a blue-blooded Russo means opening doors that would otherwise remain closed to her new money parents. While the rude, elusive Dante isn't her idea of a dream partner, she agrees to their arranged marriage out of duty. Craving his touch was never part of the plan. Neither was the worst possible outcome, falling in love with her future husband. Next is Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Cher Lee. This says, love wasn't on the menu. Dylan Tang wants to win a Mid-Autumn Festival mooncake competition in memory of his mom and to bring publicity to Walk Warriors, his aunt's struggling Chinese takeout in Brooklyn. Enter Theo Summers, charming, wealthy, with a smile that makes Dylan's stomach do backflips. When Theo makes a sizable donation to Walk Warriors, Dylan reluctantly agrees to be Theo's fake date at a family wedding in the Hamptons to return the favor. In Theo's glittering world of crazy rich drama, their romance is supposed to be for show, but Dylan finds himself falling for Theo, for real. And with the mooncake contest looming, Dylan can't risk being distracted by rich people problems. Can Dylan save his family's business and follow his heart, or will he fail to do both? Oh, this next one is one that I also ordered off of Amazon. I just had it in the wrong pile. So I was watching my friend Amanda from Amanda's Booktopia. I'll link her down below. She was doing a like book shopping thing, and this wasn't a book that she picked up or anything, but I saw it on the shelf and I was like, ooh, what's that? And so I looked it up on Amazon, and yeah, I had to buy it. I'll link this book down below too if you're interested. That is The Evil Queen by Gina Showalter. Y'all know I love me some retelling, so yeah, just screamed my name. This says, welcome to the forest of good and evil, a dream come true and a living nightmare. Far, far away in the realm of Enchantia, creatures of legend still exist. Magic is the norm and fairy tales are real, except fairy tales aren't based on myths and legends of the past. They are prophecies of the future. Raised in the mortal realm, Everly Morrow has no idea she's a real-life fairy princess until she manifests an ability to commune with mirrors. Look, see, oh, one peek hurt. Soon a horrifying truth is revealed. She is fated to be Snow White's greatest enemy, the Evil Queen. With powers beyond her imagination or control, Everly returns to the land of her birth. There she meets Roth Charmaine, the supposed Prince Charming. Their attraction is undeniable, but the relationship is doomed. As the prophecy unfolds, Everly faces one betrayal after another, and giving in to her dark side proves more tempting every day. Can she resist, or will she become the queen, the villain she was born to be? The battle between good and evil is on. Oh, so excited for that. Okay, these next 4 books here are also books that I pre-ordered as well from Barnes & Noble. So the first one is The Blood That Binds Us by Erin Maynard. I love this velvety kind of cover. This says, she is the wielder of blood magic, and she may end them all. Monster. Ren has never stolen a life, but that doesn't stop her from believing her darkness makes her a walking nightmare. Harboring a power so lethal, unpredictable, and entirely forbidden by kingdom law, Ren spent her whole life hiding what she is, who she is, a blood witch. Meanwhile, a war is looming, and Ren's feral magic may be the only thing that can stop the uprising from destroying the kingdom, her home, and everyone that stands in their way. After her sister is captured by the rebellion, Ren must seek help from the kingdom's ruler, who would soon imprison her, then offer aid. Except, Singard needs her. And when she volunteers to the use of her power in exchange for his help finding her sister, an unlikely alliance is born. Forced into a reluctant compromise with the white-haired witch, Sin finds himself protecting Ren for his kingdom's survival, but their star-crossed relationship quickly spirals into one straddling the precipice of hate and passion. As secrets are unveiled and loyalties are tested, neither are sure who they can trust. When hostilities deepen and war draws near, Ren is determined to rein in her wild magic and bind it to her will. With the lives of everyone she loves at stake, Ren must look within and decide if she is the monster she fears, or if there is light to be found in the darkest parts of herself. Next up is Someone Else's Bucket List by Amy T. Matthews. And this has such a glossy feel to it. This says, wryly funny, bittersweet, and exhilarating, Amy T. Matthews' new novel puts a unique, poignant, achingly uplifting twist on life after lost dreams that can come true and how strong a sister's bond can be timeless. My dying wish is for you to finish my bucket list. I refuse to die without knowing this list will be completed, and I refuse to die without knowing my family will be okay. Jodie Boyd is a shy and anxious 20-something, completely unsure what to do with her life. Her older sister Bree is an adventurous, globe-trotting, hugely successful Instagram influencer with more than 1 million followers. She's the most alive person Jodie knows, up until Bree's unfathomable, untimely death from leukemia. The Boyds are devastated, not to mention overwhelmed with medical debt. But Bree thought of everything, and soon Jodie is shocked by a new post on her sister's Instagram feed. The first of many Bree recorded in secret. The post retells a jaw-dropping challenge for Jodie to complete Bree's very public bucket list, from fly over Antarctica to perform a walk-on cameo in a Broadway musical. If Jodie does it and keeps all Bree's followers, a corporate sponsor will pay off the staggering medical debt. If she gains followers, the boys won't be the only ones to benefit. It's crazy, it's terrifying, it's impossible, immoral even, to refuse. So despite the whole world watching, Jody plunges in, never imagining that in death her sister will teach her how to live, and that the last item on the list, fall in love, may just prove to be the easiest. Okay, next up are books 1 and 2 of the Natural series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is not a new series, but these are new covers they just released. So The Naturals is book 1. This says, cold cases are about to get hot. 17-year-old Cassie Hobbs is a natural at reading people. Piecing together the tiniest details, she can tell you who you are and what you want. But it's not a skill that she's ever taken seriously. That is, until the FBI comes knocking. They've begun a classified program that uses exceptional teenagers to crack infamous cold cases, and they need Cassie. What Cassie doesn't realize is that there's more at risk than a few unsolved homicides, especially when she's sent to live with a group of teens whose gifts are as unusual as her own. Soon it becomes clear that no one in the Naturals program is what they seem, and when a new killer strikes, danger looms close. Caught in a lethal game of cat and mouse with a killer, the Naturals are going to have to use all their gifts just to survive. Okay, this next book is one that my book buddy of the month selected from my wish list. I let them select a book that I have to read in that month, and then I provide them a gift card to pay for it so they don't have to actually pay for it. And that is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. And this says, Scarlett Clark is an exceptional English professor, but she's even better at getting away with murder. Every year, Dr. Clark searches for the worst man at Gorman University and plots his demise. Thanks to her planning, she's avoided drawing attention to herself. But as she's preparing for her biggest kill yet, the school starts probing into the body count on campus. Determined to keep her enemies close, Scarlett insinuates herself into the investigation. Everything's going according to her master plan until she loses control with her latest victim. Meanwhile, Gorman student Carly Schiller is simply trying to survive her freshman year. Finally free of her abusive father, Carly just wants to fade into the background. Her roommate has other ideas. Allison Hadley is cool and confident, and the two girls quickly form an instant friendship. So when Allison is assaulted at a party, Carly becomes obsessed with making the attacker pay and turning her fantasies about revenge into a reality. Featuring Lane Fargo's trademark propulsive writing style and sinister of-the-moment suspense, They Never Learn is a feminist serial killer story perfect for fans of Killing Eve and Chelsea Kane. Okay, this next book was sent to me by the publisher, and I'm very excited for it. It is an arc of Find Him Where You Left Him Dead by Kristen Simmons. And let's see. This says, 4 years ago, 5 kids started a game. Not all of them survived. Now at the end of their senior year of high school, their survivors, Dax, Madeline, Emerson, and Owen, have reunited for one strange and terrible reason. They've been summoned by the ghost of Ian, the friend they left for dead. Together they return to the place where their friendship ended with one goal: find Ian and bring him home. So they restart the deadly game they never finished, an innocent card matching challenge called Medio, a game without instructions. As soon as they begin, they're dragged out of their reality and into an eerie hellscape of Japanese underworlds, more horrifying than even the darkest folk tales that Owen's grandmother told him. There they meet Shinigami, an old wise woman who explains the rules. They have one night to complete 7 challenges, or all of them, Ian included, will be stuck in this world forever. Once inseparable, the survivors now can't stand each other, but the challenges demand they work together, think quickly, and make sacrifices. Blood, clothes, secrets, memories, and worse. And once again, not everyone will make it out alive. Ah, this sounds so amazing. Okay, I think the rest of these were actually all birthday gifts. So the first, let me just grab this first stack here. So these first 3 books were gifted to me from my friend and one of my coffee patrons, Brittany Richards. And she gifted me Half-Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which you'll see another from this series come up from somebody else. But this says, Damon, love in my world usually ended up with someone hearing "I smite thee," as she was cursed to be some lame flower for the rest of her life. For 3 years, Alexandria has lived among mortals, pretending to be like them and trying to forget the duty she'd been trained to fulfill as a child of a mortal and a demigod. At 17, she's pretty much accepted that she's a freak by mortal standards, and that she'll never be prepared for that duty. According to her mother, that's a good thing. But as every descendant of the gods knows, fate has a way of rearing its ugly head. A horrifying attack forces Alex to flee Miami and try to find her way back to the very place her mother had warned her she should never return, the Covenant. Every step that brings her closer to safety is one more step toward death, because she's being haunted by the very creatures she'd once trained to kill. The demons have found her. Half-blood. The Hematoi descend from the unions of gods and mortals, and the children of 2 Hematoi purebloods have godlike powers. Children of Hematoi and mortals, well, not so much. Half-bloods only have 2 options: become trained sentinels who hunt and kill demons, or become servants in the homes of the pures. 17-year-old Alexandria would rather risk her life fighting than waste it scrubbing toilets, but she may end up slumming it anyway. There are several rules that students at the Covenant must follow. Alex has problems with all of them, but especially rule number 1, relationships between pures and halves are forbidden. Unfortunately, she's crushing hard on the totally hot pureblood Aiden, but falling for Aiden isn't her biggest problem. Staying alive long enough to graduate the Covenant and become a sentinel is. If she fails in her duty, she faces a future worse than death or slavery, being turned into a demon, and being hunted by Aiden, and that would kind of suck. Next, she got me Twisted Love by Anna Huang. This one says, "You are the light to my dark, sunshine. Without you, I'm lost." Alex Volkov is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with the past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits for success and vengeance leave little room for matters of the heart. But when he's forced to look after his best friend's sister, he starts to feel something in his chest. A crack, a melt, a fire that could end his world as he knew it. Ava Chen, a free spirit trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. But despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want. Her brother's best friend, her neighbor, her savior, and her downfall. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both and everything they hold dear. And the last one she got me is Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. And this says, Anna Dakar is a freshman at Harding Pencroft Academy, a 5-year high school that graduates the best marine scientists, naval warriors, navigators, and underwater explorers in the world. Anna's parents died while on a scientific expedition 2 years ago, and the only family she has left is her older brother Dev, also a student at HP, and they've heard all the Harry Potter jokes already, so don't go there. Anna's freshman year culminates with the class's weekend trial at sea, the details of which have been kept secret. She only hopes she has what it takes to succeed. All her worries are blown out of the water when on the bus ride to their ship, Anna and her schoolmates witness a terrible tragedy that will change the trajectory of their lives. But wait, there's more. The professor accompanying them informs Anna that Harding Pencroft has been fighting a Cold War against its rival school, Land Institute, for 150 years. Now that Cold War has been turned up to a full boil, and the freshmen are in danger of becoming fish food. In a race against deadly enemies, Anna will make amazing friends and astounding discoveries about her heritage as she puts her leadership skills to the test for the first time. And I am very interested to read this. Okay, let me pull off this big stack here. Oh, goodness. Okay, so this next series, I got the first 3 books in the series from 3 different people. So the first book came from Dana. She gifted me That Kind of Guy by Stephanie Archer. And, hold on. Karina gifted me book 2, which is The Wrong Mr. Right. And Nikki from Nikki's Bookish Coven gifted me book 3, which is In Your Dreams, Holden Rhodes. So book 1 says, she hates him, now she's his fake fiance. Avery Adams has big dreams of owning the restaurant she manages. It's finally up for sale, but she's short on cash and credit. Cocky and charismatic, Emmett Rhodes isn't the relationship kind of guy, but now that he's running for mayor of their coastal town, his bachelor pass is hurting the campaign. The solution, Avery the last woman who would ever fall for him. They make a deal. She'll get the restaurant if she plays his devoted fiance, strategic dates, a prom night redo, secret beaches in a Canadian surf town, and a turtle phobia. Things heat up, and the line between ruse and real blurs. They can't keep their hands off each other, but it's all for show, right? A sizzling, hilarious, enemies to lovers, fake relationship rom-com. These next 3 books were gifted by my friend Amanda from Amanda's Booktopia. The first one is F Your Diet and Other Things My Thighs Tell Me by Chloe Hilliard. And this says, fans of Issa Rae and Phoebe Robinson will love this collection of laugh-out-loud, funny, and insightful essays that explore race, feminism, pop culture, and how society reinforces the messages that we are nothing without the perfect body. By the time Chloe Hilliard was 12, she wore a size 12 both shoe and dress, and stood over 6 feet tall. Mercilessly bullied by her peers for her towering stature, Chloe could never fit in. That didn't stop her from trying. Cursed with the slow metabolism, baby weight, and big bones, the fat trilogy, Chloe turned to fad diets, starvation, pills, and workouts, all of which failed. She quickly developed a negative body image, resulting in plummeting self-esteem, bouts of depression, and a heartbreak. Realizing that everything from government policies to corporate capitalism directly impacts our relationship with food and our waistlines, Chloe changed her outlook. We're only as healthy as our options, and America's dietary offerings are often battered, fried, drowned in butter, and devoid of nutritional value. Chloe ultimately rehabilitated her body image by trashing toxic diets, detaching from foods as an emotional crutch, and embracing her black girl magic. The perfect mix of cultural commentary, conspiracies, and confessions, F Your Diet pokes fun at the all-too-familiar misguided quest for better health, permanent weight loss, and a sense of self-worth. Also, my battery is flashing, so let me go change that out, and I'll be right back. Okay, next up is Giant Days Extra Credit Volume 1. So this is a collection of shorts and bonus materials from the beloved world of Giant Days, and I'm very excited because I love, love, love that series. And that just follows like 3 college girls in Edinburgh as they're just kind of making their way through classes and roommates and relationships and all of that, and it's so much fun. And then the last one from Amanda is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I have read this and absolutely love it. In this, our main character, Liz, she is wanting to go to this school, but her scholarship or whatever falls through, and in order to be able to get the money to go to this school of her dreams, she pretty much needs to win prom queen because the school makes a big deal out of it and gives this huge scholarship for it. And it just so happens she starts falling for this new girl at school who is also in the competition to be prom queen, and it was super, super cute. Okay, these next 3 came from my friend Christina, who is also one of my coffee patrons. She got me the full trilogy of the, oh gosh, what's the name of the series? The Dark Elements series by Jennifer L. Armentrout with these gorgeous covers. I love them so much. We have White Hot Kiss, Stone Cold Touch, and Every Last Breath. And White Hot Kiss is the first book. This says, Layla just wants to be normal, fit in at school, go out on real dates, and do other typical teenager things. Trouble is, Layla is anything but normal, and her longtime crush, Zane, treats her like a little sister. Half demon, half gargoyle, Layla has abilities that no one else possesses. And even though Zane is a warden, part of the race of gargoyles tasked with hunting demons and keeping humanity safe, Layla's kiss will kill anything with a soul, including him. Enter Roth, a smart-mouthed demon who claims to know her deepest, most dangerous secrets. Though Layla knows she should stay away, it's tough when the whole soul thing isn't an issue. Trusting Roth could brand her a traitor to the Warden family that raised her and destroy her relationship with Zane. But with a violent demon uprising looming in the distance, kissing the enemy suddenly pales in comparison to the end of the world. And I've actually read this first book a long time ago. So I read the Harbinger series, or some of the Harbinger series, and then realized that that was part of this world. And then I was like, well, I read this book, and then as reading in this book, realized I just wanted to read all of her books. So I'm starting over and making my way through all of her books. And she's got a lot of freaking books. Oh my goodness. And I'm also like buddy reading these with my coffee patrons and loving it. Okay, this next one came from Kaylani Simply Me, and that is Flock by Kate Stewart. This says, can you keep a secret? I grew up sick. Let me clarify. I grew up believing that real love stories include a martyr or demand great sacrifice to be worthy. Because of that, I believed it, because I made myself believe it, and I bred the most masochistic of romantic hearts, which resulted in my illness. When I lived this story, my own twisted fairy tale, it was unbeknownst to me at the time because I was young and naive. I gave in to temptation and fed the beating beast, which grew thirstier with every slash, every strike, every blow. Triple Falls wasn't at all what it seemed, nor were the men that swept me under their wing. But in order to keep them, I had to be in on their secrets. Secrets that cost us everything to keep. That's the novelty of fiction versus reality. You can't relive your own love story because by the time you've realized you're living it, it's over. At least that was the case for me and the men I trusted my foolish heart to. Looking back, I'm convinced I willed my story into existence due to my illness, and all were punished. And I've heard amazing things about this series, and I need to read this at a time when I'm prepared for a book hangover, because apparently books 2 and 3 are going to shatter me and completely change my brain chemistry from what I've heard. Okay, these next 3 came from my friend Clint over at Reads Readers. He got me book 2 in the Covenant series, which I showed you book 1 earlier, which was Half-Blood. He also got me volume 4 of the Mortal Instruments graphic novel series, so yay. I love all of those Shadowhunter books. And then he also got me The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrane. This one says, the real love story happens behind the scenes. Dev Deshpande has always believed in fairy tales, so it's no wonder that he spent his career crafting them on the long-running reality dating show Ever After. As the most successful producer in the franchise's history, Dev always scripts the perfect love story for his contestants, even as his own love life crashes and burns. But then the show cast disgraced tech wonder kid Charlie Winshaw as its star. Charlie is far from the romantic Prince Charming Ever After expects. He doesn't believe in true love and agreed to appear on the show only as a last-ditch effort to rehabilitate his image. In front of the cameras, he's a stiff, anxious mess with no idea how to date 20 women on national television. As Dev fights to get Charlie to connect with the contestants on a whirlwind worldwide tour, they begin to open up to each other, and Charlie realizes he has better chemistry with Dev than with his co-stars. But even reality TV has a script, and in order to find their way to happily ever after, they'll have to reconsider whose love story gets told and why. And I think this sounds so freaking cute. So thank you to everybody who gifted me books. That was so incredibly generous. Okay, so those are all 56 books that I acquired this month. Have you guys read any of them? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!